We got a question here from Dahat Spot Kaunakakai. Is it extremely difficult to get zoning changed? I'm interested in a property that is currently zoned as industrial, but I want to develop it with condos, a gas station, and a strip mall. Well, rezoning in Hawaii is something akin to an act of God. That's what I know, and I'm seeing some heads nodding over there. Anybody want to? And Now, the hotspot Kaunakakai is on Molokai. So, are you looking at doing a rezoning on Molokai? I would think that that's like a whole next level. That's got to be a next level of rezoning effort to get that done. But let's just kind of call it generically, just on a scale of
Just
1 to 5, where 1 is like it's a piece of cake, file a form in your rezone, and 5 is like no way in hell, Jose. How would you rate the difficulty of rezoning? Let's do Scott and then Dylan and then Heidi. Rezoning, Scott.
I'd say it depends. If you're down zoning, then it's not that difficult. If you're trying to go upwards on the zoning threshold of difficulty, trying to get something approved that's not normally approved, then yeah, it's much more difficult.
Dylan, what about you? What's the rezoning like on the Big Island?
same with Scott. It's very case by case dependent. So in this case, what he's talking about is going from industrial back to something that you could do condos on, which is probably going to be more likely, right? As opposed to going from agricultural to trying to do residential or trying to do industrial or something like that from agriculturally zoned property. So my advice is write the check to a good attorney and planning consultant and have them look at it, because they're going to be able to give you good advice. And they're the ones that live in the trenches doing this every day, dealing with the county, dealing with the county councils, the planning departments, and all of those things. And they're going to be able to give you the best advice on that.
Yeah, that's really some sound advice.
Because
And
there's also crazy stuff that can stop it. Like you can have the zoning already, and this is a big misconception with people is, you have on the Big Island, we have lots of huge pieces of land, where you have 20-acre pieces of land that are zoned Ag 1. So you can go to 1 acre land, pieces out of a 20-acre lot. So people think, oh, piece of cake, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to make 1 acre lots. But there's all kinds of other things that go into getting a subdivision approved. So even if you have the zoning and you can do what you want to do, or you think you can do what you want to do, now you got to put in infrastructure. You got to have water available. You got to have utilities available. I mean, there's all kinds. You may have to do a traffic study to see if you have enough, shoulder space off the highway to turn onto the property. There's all kinds of stuff that go into it. It's extremely complicated. And so if you ever talk to a realtor who says, oh yeah, you can subdivide this, they don't know what they're talking about. So that's a huge red flag when somebody tells you it's going to be easy or simple, because it's very complicated.
yeah, and to add to the complication, it is Molokai. So I would say the hotspot, number one is you need to be living in Molokai and a huge part of that community, and you need to know everybody in that community. That is one thing I would say for sure. You better know everyone, and they better know you, and not just know you. They better love you. They better love you and love your family, because that's what it's going to take in Molokai. Because Molokai is one big family that's been there forever. I see Scott nodding. Heidi, you have any other thoughts you want to add about rezoning and any kind of feedbacks?
Yes, I mean, I would say, how much time do you have? Even if it's something that is possible, I mean, it could take 5 to 15 years. It's not going to be something, in most cases on Maui, that could even be foreseeably accomplished in a few years. And yes, I mean, get local representation, get a really good local attorney and somebody that has experience doing that kind of thing, because it's not easy.
Yeah, I would say the hotspot. If you'll know you're on your way when you start getting invited to all kinds of baby luau's. When you start getting invited to all kinds of baby luau's, then you know you've got it right. You can start the process. Then you can begin the process of considering rezoning. But until you start getting invited to everyone's baby luau, ain't gonna happen.